Are you a brick and mortar business owner that has put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating a storefront that lights you up and serves your clients really well, only to be frustrated that you're the best kept secret in town? If you're not hearing your new clients say, "I found you on Google," then you are in the right place. Welcome. My name is Melissa Rose. I'm a mom, a brick and mortar business owner, and your straight shooting visibility coach. I've cracked the SEO code to becoming the top choice on Google in my industry. And now I'm sharing the secrets on this podcast. Get ready for stories, fail-proof strategies, and practical tips to elevate your brick and mortar presence to the top choice on Google. Let's get real, because we're going to make your business the only option in town. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Brick and Mortar Visibility. How are you? It has been a minute. And for those of you that are brand new, this won't pertain to you. But for those of you that tune in more often, I want to just thank you all for patience and understanding as we have gone through a lot in my family with personal life. And if you're on my email list, you know the details a bit more. But for those of you listening right now, thank you for checking in. And when people say they feel your prayers and thoughts, it is so true. My dad passed away June 1st. And the month of May was all about being with him and being in his presence and just being around family and going through that process and journey and that beautiful time. And when people say it's a beautiful time, it really is, isn't it? It's this bittersweet time you get with not only the person that's passing, but also with your family. So it was a very roller coaster of a month, and then we had some other things happen with my son, and it all just kind of happened at the same time. So what I learned in that, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my people, my tribe, and I learned a lot about my values and what's important to me. And what needs to happen sometimes is things need to be let go. And one of the things that I let go was the podcast. That during that season, I just needed to be present. So we are back. We are taking it one day at a time. And today's episode is going to be short and to the point because it came out of a strategy call with a client. And it was a great question they had. And this is a past client of mine that reached out, said, "Melissa, I need to talk to you because I need help." She has grown her business so much. So before we launch into that, I want to make sure that if you are brand new and haven't grabbed my Google Business Profile Workshop, you need to do that, because what I'm going to ask you to do is the same thing I ask you to do every week, and that is bring an update to your Google Business Profile. So that is maintaining a consistent activity. And I like to take my most popular social post from the last week or the most evergreen one and bring it over to my Google Business Profile. So if you don't know what I mean by that, grab my workshop, completely free. Go to MsMelissaRose.com/deals. That's where all the good stuff is. And you can grab that workshop along with some other things and become part of the tribe. Get on the newsletter so that you can hear the updates. I don't bug you too much, maybe twice a month at most, with what's going on with business and life, because let's be real, it is all wrapped up into one thing, a one beautiful, unique package that is you. Running a brick and mortar business, managing team members, giving your clients great service, but then we also have this personal side of us that is just as important. So I like to share a little bit about that in my emails. Today's episode is brought to you by Healthy in the Valley. Are you a health and wellness provider in the St. Croix Valley that would love some more clients coming in your doors? Who wouldn't want that, right? Our mission for Healthy in the Valley is to encourage and empower our community to make choices about their health and wellness that support them and the local businesses around them, so our entire community can thrive. If that's a mission statement that you like and want to get behind, come be part of Healthy in the Valley. This is a great way for more people to know about your brand, your services, what you stand for, as well as get an introductory offer in working with me. Let's get your business to be the only option in town by going to healthyinthevalley.com. The link is in the bio here. We have been doing the podcast for 4 years, and I have come in weekly for 4 years. So the fact that I missed like 4 weeks here kind of was a shot to the ego, but like I said, super important for me to do that. But coincidentally, y'all, and this is where the podcast world just gets a little crazy, because I had a huge uptick in downloads in May. And I think I put out one podcast. And that was only because it was pre-recorded and ready and set to go. So I wanted to just for what it is, you're consistent for so many years, and then you have a little blip, and then coincidentally numbers go up. And I wanted just to recognize a shout out with a review that I got over that time, which just means the world. As a girl of affirmations, this is always a big deal to me, but coincidentally on the slowest month for me, it was really fun. So thank you so much for this podcast review. She says, I always leave a podcast episode feeling motivated. Melissa explains things in an easy to understand terms. And that is from Gala KZ. So thank you so much. I want to double down on that today, because today's episode is really nitty gritty for those of you that have maybe multiple locations, or you're like my client that came back after having such tremendous growth. So let me give you a little backstory. This client worked with me to create systems, to create a local presence, because she had moved from one part of the country to the other part of the country. And within 6 months, she had really captivated her audience into a new location. She was growing, but her goal was to become an agency. So what she does is she's a wedding violinist, and she specializes in Bollywood music. So super niche, which is great. And since we last spoke, which was maybe 2 years ago, she has grown to an agency, which is what her ultimate goal was. And now she is agency in the fact that she's got satellite locations. And I don't want to say locations as much as service industry areas, right? She's got areas that she's servicing throughout the country, and she wants to be known in those areas. So we got on the phone and we talked about being present in those areas. And I want to share with you what I learned, because she stumped me a little bit, because we were talking about blogs, and that is what I'm going to talk about next week regarding this. But I want to make sure that some of you might have multiple locations, and that multiple location may not be in the same area. I have multiple locations, but they happen to be within a mile apart. So it makes no sense for me to have 2 Google business profiles for those separate locations, because ultimately it's too much work. Okay, let's be real. It's too much work. Doesn't make sense. People are Googling your service usually near me, and that's where the issue comes up. So if she has her Google business profile optimized, it's great, looks great, except it's in that area, pinpoint to that area, or even if it's a national area, it doesn't give us enough information. So what you are going to do, that if you have something like that, where you are the same brand in multiple locations, you are going to log into your Google, your business profile manager, and then in the top left corner, it says businesses. And then you are going to create a group. And then from there, you're going to add each individual service industry / location into that group. So that way you are then able to upload or update those places all at one time. And you can use, when I say update a Google business profile, it will go to all of them. But what's important there is when people are Googling you, say in Austin, Texas, they're usually Googling near me. And you want that Google business profile to be near you. So you want that address to be Austin, Texas. And then if they're Googling you in New York City, you want that to be in New York City, that address. So that is why that Google business profile for the direct location, area location, is so important, because so many people are Googling what they need and they want it near them. All right, so that is your tip if you have multiple locations or multiple service markets. All right. So she doesn't have a brick and mortar. She has a service, but her service is being done in different markets. And that's what I would suggest to anybody who wants to get their Google business profile, their Google working for them. Now, you don't need a separate website for each one. That's what we're going to talk about next week, is how to get your website then working for those keywords in those areas. All right. So short and sweet today, because that just pertains to a smaller niche of people, right? Not many of us have multiple areas or locations. So take it, pass it on to your friend that may have one, share it with them. All right. If you are a little overwhelmed, confused, want more information, come over and schedule a 20-minute call. You can do that. That's totally complimentary. And that just, you can ask your question or feel free to email me. And you can, again, go to my newsletter there, be part of that, and then just click reply to ask a question. But if you want more, if you want in-depth, you can schedule a strategy call, which is an hour, or a VIP day. And those are super popular. People just love to get in the nitty-gritty and let's get the work done. Don't talk to me about strategy or about all the things I could do and can do. Let's get the work done. And let's be real, we all have a limited amount of time and you're going to pay for it one way or the other. You're either going to pay for it with your time or your money. So what is it for you? VIP days are just 3 hours, all right? But we get a lot done. We'll go through that Google business profile, make sure everything is optimized, all the bells and whistles, and then we'll come on over to your website and I help you better optimize your website so that those keywords are getting used and where to fix things. We then sometimes go on into talking about team, running the brick and mortar. We'll maybe talk about leasing or whether it makes sense for you to go into a bigger space or not. So it just kind of flows wherever you go. So it's very customized to you, and they fill my heart so much because there's nothing that is more exciting to me than seeing other business owners. Just, you guys, it's a huge risk. It's a huge dream, passion, love, service that you want to provide for your community. And you guys are doing it. You're getting out there. You're doing it. You're showing up every day. You're making it happen. And my hat goes off to you big time because I know exactly what it's like. I've been in business 15 years. And it doesn't get easier. It's just a new level, new devil, right? Thankfully, we have lots of years of experience behind us so that we have lots of proof of saying, okay, I got through that. I can get through this. All right, everybody. You have a great week. We will see you here, same time, same place next week. Peace. Bye-bye.